స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. బయట ఎవరున్నా ఇంజనీరింగ్ అసిస్టెంట్లు కానీ మన తోటి ఇంజనీర్స్ అందరూ కూడా రావాల్సిందిగా కోరుకుంటున్నాం. మీరు నమ్ముతారో నమ్మరు, ఈ మొత్తం స్కీమ్ ఆయనే సీట్లో కూర్చి వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్ హోదాలో ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆయనే టైప్ చేసి మనకి ఇచ్చారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. On the occasion of completing 25 years of the program, the Ministry of Rural Development through the NRID, National Rural DAUs to reflect on the journey of Pmgsy. As I said earlier, it was a planning commission who could not able to. 2000 means that after 53 years of independence, at that time, still 40% of the habitations more of
principal amount. This is for the investments to be made. Maybe the other persons who are experienced in the business. So you cannot apply the financial feasibility analysis for the infrastructure projects. For all the infrastructure projects, we need to carry out the economic feasibility. The economic feasibility is more politics. I travel from my home to the office, or to school, or hospital. If your government is investing. So what users? Because what there are many people who are so the benefits are in terms of the operating cost. If the road is good, then obviously your fuel. So for regular 60 kilos per liter petrol, well, depending upon the make of the two-wheeler, or if the bad road is there, for the same 1 liter of petrol, price might be reduced. That means you're losing. If the bad road is there, then obviously where again your vehicles will be. So the tires will be weighed, moving forward, worn out, or they come for repair. So the cost of operating our vehicles is increasing. If the road is good and maintained well, our operating cost of the vehicles will come down. We'll reduce our travel time. You might end up spending 40-45 minutes if the road is bad. If the road is good, then travel time might be reduced. All these things can be converted into the rupee value, marketable value, and then these are means each and every one of us are getting benefited by providing a good. So all the infrastructure projects which are expected to be taken up by the government training, capacity building for the field engineers. There is in the form of the state technical agencies and principal technical agencies. More than 80 engineering colleges across the country are involved. The expertise available in all these 80 engineering colleges across the nation are available to the government and to support the field engineers. And also the first time in any government scheme, a 3-tier quality system is being introduced. 3-tier quality system is also a wonderful idea. It is also first time the rural road is being considered as a civil engineering structure, right? I think our Honorable Jntu Garu was mentioning that. Earlier, nobody has attempted, nobody has treated that as a structure. Nobody is treated as a civil engineering structure. If you have few rupees, few thousands of rupees, you used to bring the gravel and dump it and roll it, spread it and roll it and forget about it. How much thickness, whether it is a structure has to be designed or not to be designed, we never thought about it. We never forget about the not only the design, we never bothered about the quality also. So I feel this is the scheme which brought the dignity and recognition to the field engineers who are especially working in the Panchayat Raj Engineering Department. Now you are accountable, you are answerable, you are demonstrating to the entire world, not only India, that we are building the quality roads. You are building the quality roads, you are the proud owners of these quality roads. That's how this brought the respect and dignity to the field engineers in this independent India after getting the 53 independence after 53 years. So that is the reason why I like this program. I like this program. The reason for NIT Warangal or some other institutions, my friends working in the different education institutions, why we are associated with this is, we are not guaranteed that the civil engineers who have been taught by us in the classrooms, there is no guarantee that these guys will come and join the engineering departments, right? You know the onslaught of the 2K problem. Many of them have diverted, migrated to other professions like software engineer, etc., etc. But you are married to the building the rural roads. So our interventions, if it is enabling you to learn something, if it is enabling you to learn new techniques and implement them, I think that is the satisfaction at the end of the day we are getting, whether the Surya Rama or my friend Prasad Raju or some other friends working in across the 80 institutions. So 80 into around roughly around on an average 5 to 6. So around more than 4,400 professors across the nation are working for your sake. Now it is the right time and also it is appropriate for all of us for celebrating this scheme, because we never celebrated any scheme. Niger, your vast experience, did you celebrate any scheme launched by whether the state government or central government?
I have not seen celebrating this scheme, right? Celebrating twice or prime ministership or CMship or something is happening. But in the name of scheme celebrating, I have seen first time. I excited when Srinivas came to me, said that the government of India has directed us to have a month long, 2 months long. I think September they got a letter, and up to December, God need to celebrate. Then I also excited like you. Okay, what is meant by celebration? We need to look back. What's that we have done? What is that we have created in the last 25 years? What are the major features, milestones, and the specialty of this particular program? And then, based on our 25 years of experience of this scheme and what's to be done, we need to recommit and rededicate the strengthening and persuasion of this particular scheme in the years to come. The scheme will continue. That's what I strongly believe. So with these few words, so I thought that I should recollect from the 2000 December 9th December 2025.
population. John F. Kennedy, it's not the wealth that built the roads, but the roads that build our wealth. This is true. This is true. You know, the foundation for the launching the scheme is also same thing. If you invest something in the rural connectivity, then the poverty will come down, or the average income levels in the people of working areas will increase, and unemployment will come down. This was also already proven. I will share some of the slides. So my presentation is being divided into 5 subcategories. One is about the Pmgsy overview. That means what are the different schemes like Pmgsy 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And then what are the new technologies which are being identified and adopted and implemented in the rural road construction. And the quality management system, which was unique in nature, which has been adopted in other schemes also. Subsequently, then the Pmgsy guidelines that is meant for 2025 to 2030, and then the GIS, the technology which is being effectively utilized in all aspects of the road building, from the planning to the execution and monitoring the quality control and so on. So what is there are many young friends probably who might have joined the departments after 2010 or 15 or around 2020, and you might not be knowing by the time the scheme already long time back. So it started with an idea that to connect the rural villages with the population more. That was the initial thought process. So what to provide at least one all-over road applications with 500 plus by 2007. So this program should have been completed or closed by 2007, but still it's continuing beyond that. 18 years over, 2007 to 2025. Then a separate fund has been created by allocating 50% of the chess on diesel. Chess, and that 50% is going towards the national highways building. The remaining 50% is being allocated for the building of the road. But chess is there. All of us are contributing. Every one of us contributing. Every is contributing. We are contributing towards the road building, towards the fund. So there is a dedicated scheme initially, now not now. Then the target was about 1.79 lakhs unconnected. They want to build 3,75,000 kilometers of road. Another 3,72,000 kilometers of road to be upgraded, and that was the target. And estimated cost was 1,37,000 crores. That was the initial thought process. Then the Pmgsy 2 was launched, and its objectives are slightly different from the Pmgsy 1. The consolidation of existing rural road network. So Pmgsy 1 means that supposed to be providing the connectivity to all the connected applications with all the road. Then they don't want to stop the scheme. So what they said that the rural network was already created. Now we have to re-strengthen it. That's what it is. Upgradation of existing key rural roads. That means facilitating the growth of rural market centers, rural hubs. That means that not only villages are supposed to connect to the market centers, nearest market centers. They can, agricultural producers may be sold in the markets, or fertilizers or seeds can be brought from the markets to the rural areas at the reasonable. Never thought about the maintenance. Now Pmgsy is importance and emphasis on the maintenance, because if you don't maintain any civil engineering structure, for that any machine, if you don't maintain it properly, then it's a deterioration will be fast. So it cannot stay for its long, which the full length of its life, whatever
need to maintain. So the maintenance management system has to be introduced. Then all the states and union territories would be eligible under the Pmgsy. They can join when 100% of new connectivity and 90% by the Ministry of. So 75% by the central government, 25% by the state government. So governments are also okay. In these areas, 90% and 10% by the states. 15 to 20% of most annual Pmgsy budget. That's what I said. Roads as well as also to be for taking up the Pmgsy 2. At least 50% of the link roads under the district road plan area-based batch. Isolation. A group of roads within that area are considered as a batch maintenance and they are given to the single agency. The proposed target length of upgradation Pmgsy-1 upgrade targets per state and the union territory. And what are the features of the Pmgsy-2? A commitment for the state bothered. Since 1992, we are talking about the sustainability of all the infrastructure being created in all walks of life. So now they brought in sustainability framework to the rural roads also. Then they also brought in the safety audit. Even now, 80% of the accidents are occurring on the state highways and national highways. 80% of the major accidents, especially fatalities, are happening on the national highways and state highways. Both of them together constitute around 6% of the road network. Our road network constitutes around 80%. State highways, major district roads, and then the national highways together constitute around 20% of the road network. Now we have built more than 60 kilometers of 60 lakh kilometers. Okay. 60 lakh kilometers of that, but 80% of them belongs to you, for which you are the proud owners, right? You are responsible. So that is village roads and other district roads. But 80% of the actions are occurring on 20% of the road length, and 20% of the actions are occurring on the road roads, which constitutes around 80%. But still, you may say that our actions are less, but the intensity of the traffic is less. Okay, intensity of the traffic on national highways is very much. So obviously, the accidents will be more, and fatalities also. Fatalities, the killing of the people. So, but we have released that safety also has to be addressed. Institutionalized second-tier quality control mechanism. That's what we have state quality monitors, right? We have the PAU level, then the state quality monitoring mechanism, then the net quality monitoring mechanism. Back maintenance, I said, strengthening of institutions like NRRTA, SRRTA, PTAs and STAs. Now they started thinking about R&D. We need to have our own indigenous R&D. For our own problems, we should find out our solutions rather than importing the technology. Then fully online monitoring mechanism. This is also being introduced. Then 100% e-procurement and e-payments and audit for the maintenance of the roads in the Pmgsy-1, while DRRP is the basis for the Pmgsy-2. Primacy for new connected in the Pmgsy-1, whereas Pmgsy-2 only upgradation. So main focus first is on the upgradation of the Pmgsy-2. Pmgsy-1 is 100% centrally funded, whereas the Pmgsy-2 is not more, about 75% centrally funded, 25% by the rest. demonstrates the consolidation of the existing rural network is also the same basis for the Pmgsy 2 by upgradation of the existing through routes and major rural link roads. Major rural which is brought in, right? More than 1,000 applications they have to be connected. So that connect the applications to the grammar agriculture markets. Now they brought this concept. Grammar agriculture markets connectivity is more important. So the rural access or accessibility provided to the rural roads to the villages is been achieved in the Pmgsy 1 and to certain extent in Pmgsy 2 also. But now we want the connectivity that rural roads will be connected to the such that you should have the seamless agriculture markets connectivity. Then the higher secondary schools, then the hospital. These are all the focus in the Pmgsy 3. The program will focus on upgrading the existing through routes and major rural link roads. Through roads are MDR, are being considered as the through roads. Through roads are meant for the long distance travel, and access roads are meant for the short distance travel, maybe 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, etc., etc. The major rural link roads are nothing but the ODRs, etc. The candidate roads shall be preferably of length not less than. This is the condition they kept in the Pmgsy. The minimum length of the road should be 5 kilometers to be considered for the funding. Now this is the Pmgsy 1 to 3. I will skip it short of the time. Now the road connectivity project for the left wing extreme affected areas. This was the another scheme launched under the same umbrella of the Pmgsy scheme. This is in 2017. The objectives are clear. Provide all over the road connectivity with necessary culture in all 44 districts, where left-wing extremism is available, which is critical for the security and communication point of view. So the population is not at all a criteria. It's only the security point of view, connectivity to the remotest possible areas. So the primary focus of improving the road connectivity on this project is to bring people out of the national isolation, which are very remote areas. So suitable road connectivity will create confidence in the governance structures, create job opportunities, uplift living standards, and thus help keep the local people away from the LWE activities. So under this scheme, the population has not been considered as a so the project will cover the rural roads, village roads, and other district roads and major district roads. All of them are considered and funded under this scheme. Then there was a scheme, there is a document, it's known as a Rural Road Development Plan Vision 2021. All of you might be knowing that 20-year road development plan. This is also 20-year road development plan, but primarily dedicated, focused on the rural connectivity. So 2001 to 2021. So this is a road development plan. This is the fourth 20-year road development plan. So what are the objectives? I am trying to take in some points that are related to our rural roads only. So adequate rural road network to provide connectivity to all the villages for the rural development. This was launched in 2001 and plan period is 20 years. Emphasis on the safety, energy efficiency. This is another point they have brought in because India is not an energy independent country. Our 75% of the energy requirements are importing from the other countries. Right now maybe Asia and also Gulf countries, etc. So we should have the energy efficient vehicles and also we should have the energy efficient infrastructure, which will consume. That means your road is maintained well, constructed well, then fuel efficiency will increase. Then the another point, as I said, that sustainability is the one. So environment has to protect it. Right now you might be seeing that out of top 20 cities across the globe, most polluted, majority of them, more than 10 cities are connected. So we should be able to control, is also affecting the villages. So it's very concerned for us The reason is, most of the, now you could see that number of cancer cases are increasing. Number of diabetic cases are increasing. Right? High pressure, blood pressure cases are increasing. All of them, diabetic, all these things are stress related. Stress-induced one, which is caused with the changes or deterioration in the environment. And this also says that village population less than 100 should be connected latest by 2010. So our road development plan, that is the fourth 20-year road development plan, is also emphasizing on the connectivity to the village with population even less than 500. Formulate comprehensive master plan for rural roads in each district, building up from the block level. So in our case, mandal level, every year it is a something level. Then the maximum use of local materials and undertake block topping gears only in the respect of the bigger villages. This is also there in the Pmgsy scheme. With that, we have to use the local material for cost cutting, because when I fondly remember in 2001 when I started scrutinizing the TPRs at that time, the cost per kilometer is less than 5 lakh rupees, maybe. So now it's almost more than 1 crore, roughly around 1 crore. It depends upon the type of car, type of soil, and also the availability of the aggregate particles, etc. So we will need to use the local available materials. We are not anticipating high intensity traffic. We are not anticipating high truck traffic. If the trucks are on the road, then only they will get damaged. Our cars, two-wheelers, auto rickshaws, which are predominant in the rural road traffic, they are not going to destroy the structure of our rural roads. They can so the structure will not be damaged. Structure will be damaged only due to the truck traffic. The block topping is not necessary if the population is less than 1,000. That means the population of the get benefited by through the road roads less than 1,000. Even the gravel roads are good enough. But gravel roads are good enough, but at the same time we have the dust nuisance and mud slurries during the rainy season. There is only 2 disadvantages, but people have not accepted this. Even though Pmgsy is emphasizing on this, and the people representatives like our MLAs and MPs, they have unanimously rejected this idea. So even the guidelines are there. Globally, not black top, but our society has accepted this one. So we have abandoned that policy and continue to go black top. The gang labor system should be replaced gradually. If you remember correctly, in 1947 when we got independence, we were the economically poor country and the industries were not there. The population, there are no jobs. So then the government in subsequent 5-year plans is emphasized more on the labor-oriented infrastructure development. So they emphasize that more labor should be used in the construction of the roads also. So that was continued for several years, several decades. Now, because of the man-made construction, the quality of the finishing is not good. Quality you could not able to achieve it. So you need to use the machinery. So that's what it is. Gang labor system should be replaced gradually by maintenance units and repair should be mechanized. Then there are also focusing on the construction technology.
Construction technology we have not developed. We have not refined further. This construction technology may be related to stabilized soil subbases and bases, especially the coastal area of Andhra Pradesh is a black cotton soil. That's where we have a very strong base at Jntu Kakinada, specialized people who are good at stabilization like Prasad Raju, Professor Ramu and so on. And we need to have this one, soil stability. Now we are gaining importance now. In the last 5 years, people are talking about the stabilized soil, the fly ash in the embankment. Now national highways are also emphasizing on the usage of fly ash.
and reinforced earth walls, geotextiles, continuously reinforced one, roller compacted concrete, and machinery-oriented road maintenance. These are all the technologies which are identified in 2001 itself as a part of the fourth frontier road development plan, which are expected to be adopted by the road building engineers. Unfortunately, the adoption is slow, and we are not confident. We are not confident. Industry, engineering community is not confident, is not ready to accept it, because always society, always looking at the negativity, right? When the fly ash was used in the construction of rural roads in the Khammam district, I remember about 15 years back, the villagers came and objected. They say that వీళ్ళందరూ బూడిద పోసి రోడ్డు కడుతున్నారు, ఇంజనీర్స్ అందరూ డబ్బులు తినేశారు, కాంక్రీట్ అగ్రిగేట్ కట్టకుండా బూడిద పోసి కడుతున్నారు అని అన్నారు. We are trying to become it difficult for us to convince them that, because just because we are using the fly ash in the embankment filling, just because we are using the fly ash in replacing partially cement, we have not compromised on the quality of concrete, resulted concrete, but it took time for us to convince the local people, and took lot of time. Now it is accepted, right? The fly ash blended cement is being accepted by the people. They are using it in their own construction. In fact, instead of spoiling, it is in fact strengthening the compressive strength. Then the Road Development Plan Vision 2021 also identified several thrust areas, like evolving methodology for pavement design. Pavement design, what we are adopting is an empirical method. It's not a mechanistic method, right? CBR test, right? CBR method of pavement design is only an approximation method. It's a trial and error method. So it basically says that if you have this much thickness of the pavement structure, then the amount of the stress transmitted to the subgrade level is less than this. Or in other words, we are trying to look at the California bearing ratio, which is nothing but the bearing strength of the soil subgrade. And after identifying that, what are the stress transmitted, wheel load stresses transmitted to the subgrade level, they should be less than the bearing strength of the soil. So that's the reason why we are trying to increase the crust thickness. The pavement layer, crust is nothing but the layer, is nothing but a protective layer for the soil subgrade. But what is the quality of material to be used? If you remember the original designs earlier, IRC 37, long time back, so it only says that so much thickness. What is this thickness? Is it to be concrete? Is it to be well-graded one? Or is it to be, what is the type of materials to be used? Wet macadam or waterbound macadam? What it is? You are silent. So, from that stage, now we have slowly moved towards the stress-strain behavior. We are trying to understand the stress-strain behavior of the various pavement layers, or the materials used in the pavement layers in designing the thickness of the pavement. We have moved in the last 24 years. We have learned a lot. Several researchers across the labs, on CSR labs, CRR, etc. They are doing, and then slowly our design is now a mechanistic method of pavement design. Refining the methodology for evaluation of the pavement performance. Now, another term has been used. We want to understand the performance based. The performance and maintenance measures are being implemented by the state government now. So, the performance has been introduced now into the concept. How the pavement created is performing well. The maintenance in the payment to the contractor is also based on the performance base. That means whether your riding quality is good, your IRI is good or within the permissible limits, where you could able to control the potholes or cracking of the pavement, etc., etc. The defects or deterioration of the pavement is being quantified, measured. We started measuring it. We started quantifying it. And we are trying to link this with the performance. We are trying to link with the payment to the contractors also this. So this is a very good progress, right? Then enhancing the use of waste materials, like a building construction waste. Our fly ash is industrial waste. Steel slag is industrial waste. Copper slag is industrial waste, right? Husk, rice husk, that is also waste. So all such waste materials are being used, or we are encouraging them to use them in the pavement construction. Then the highway cost allocation study. Now people start looking at the highway cost. They started introducing the concept of a life cycle cost analysis. So my young friends might be knowing what is meant by life cycle cost analysis. You are designing the road for 10 years. Then what is the cost of maintaining this road during the 10 years? You are using the road. There are thousands, maybe lakhs of road users are there. There are different types of vehicles, maybe two-wheelers, three-wheelers, cars, trucks, buses, and so on. Then what is the cost of operating my vehicle? Then what is the total cost of the road for construction and maintenance and usage of the road? What is its total cost in its lifetime? So my total life cycle cost or life cycle is every 10 years you are building the road, assuming that during the 10 years time, how much we are spending. So the government or the agency is spending in construction of the road and also maintenance of the road. All of us are the users, we are spending the money in maintaining our vehicles. We are purchasing the vehicle, maintaining the vehicle for repairs, etc. And we are consuming the fuel, lubricant oil, spare parts, and so on. So this is we are bearing. The government is bearing only construction and maintenance of the road. If you try to look at the total cost, if it is 100 rupees, the government is spending only 20 rupees, roughly. Remaining 80 rupees we are spending. So earlier thought process was, we are always comparing the technology, methodology used in the road construction purely based on the cost of construction only initially. Then they said that no, cost of construction is not sufficient. Let us try to take into account the maintenance also. So construction plus maintenance has been considered for comparison of the roads. Then subsequently we have realized that this alone is not good enough because it constitutes only 20%, 80% is the user. So we have to consider both user cost and agency cost. Then the road which is costing you, or the technology which is costing you minimum, agency plus operating cost, that has to be taken as the basis. It doesn't matter whether the agency, government is paying, whether the user is paying. Because at the end of the day, the society as a society, who is paying, how much is paying? Is it my money, our money, or the government money? So that is how the life cycle cost analysis concepts has been gradually introduced. It is necessary for us. It is necessary for us to carry out life cycle cost analysis. It is every walk of life, not only infrastructure projects, in your individual projects or your home maintenance or anything, your profession, anything, you can apply these concepts. Then the Rural Development Plan Vision 2025 has been introduced. This is an exclusive document, wonderful document. I don't know how many have seen that. See, the irony is, when I was a student in the 80s, we never come across the number of books. Textbooks are not there, reference books are not available, very limited, and no money in your pockets because my father is also a middle class, a lower middle class. We didn't have money to purchase the new books. So I always borrow the books, seniors, or notes we used to write, and we go to the library and write. Now books are available abundantly, right? Thousands and lakhs of books are available in the libraries, but students are not going. Okay, including Jntu Kakinada, including NIT Warangal, all the cases. They didn't find time. They think that they have a smartphone, they will get everything. Okay, smartphone, you have the e-books. PDF files are available. But people are not having a time to open the PDF also. You might also be receiving it, right? Because you're also, I saw we have created more ambitiously number of groups, WhatsApp groups are created. So maintaining more than 50 WhatsApp groups and spending time and wherever the Pmgsy training program is constructed, I used to create a group, share the information. People are not reading. So we have abundant information available, but we don't have a interest or time to open and learn it. This is the problem. So the documents are available. Vision 2025 document is also available. Kindly go through it. So this is emphasizing that new connectivity has been recommended for 1,000 population by 2009 and 10, 500 populated villages by 2014-15, and 250 by the year 21-22. These are all the targets, but these targets were not met, okay, not realized. Then, the block tagging of rural roads may be restricted to ODRs and VRs that link village with population more than 1,000. This is what I said. So, gravel roads may be provided for all other cases. So integration of road network with the JS-based land use data. This is the new concept they have introduced. Intermediate technology for the construction, use of local available materials, waste materials, application of soil stabilization techniques. This is another grand phenomena, the changing our outlook. Earlier, when the soil subgrade is CBR value is less than 2%, we have strongly recommended removing the soil and borrow the good soil and fill with the subgrade. But where do you borrow the soil? We have more than 30% of the soil in India is belonging to the black water soil. Maybe good for the agriculture, right? For growing the rice, etc. Or wheat, or the sugar cane. But the question is, they are not good for the road construction. So how long? When the road is small, it's fine. When it's a one building, okay, remove the weak soil and then fill with the good soil, it's fine. But we have lakhs and lakhs of kilometers of roads are being constructed. How long we are going to remove that weak soil and bring the good soil? So now we have stopped, that thinking has stopped. So can we do something, modify the character and structure, soil structure, and make it useful, available for the road construction? That is where soil stabilization techniques have come into the picture. Then the low-cost bituminous surfacing, unsealed gravel roads, light equipment, low-end technologies for the compaction, etc., and then the quality assurance. What is the difference between the quality control and quality assurance? I think we have a couple of lectures in that today and tomorrow. And quality control is the material is being, or product is being prepared. So at the end of the product creation, we are trying to look at the quality or quality control test. That means whether it is fulfilling the required quality standards, whether it is a density or whatever it is, or bitumen content, and so on. But the question is, once the product is ready, when the road is constructed, if it is failing the test, what is that we are doing? When the test is failed, we'll try to punish the contractor, maybe 5%, 10% penalty might be using it or deducted, right? Am I right? Yes, sir? You're trying to do it. Okay, fine. Does it mean that you are ensuring the quality? It is a fear psychosis you are creating to the contractor, road builder. If you don't maintain the quality properly, or if it is not withstanding the quality, you are imposed a penalty in your final payment. It's fine. But suppose if it is intentionally or unintentionally, you could not maintain that quality, then maybe 90% you are paying, 10% penalty is given. But what happened to our road structure? Road structure was already created, not up to the standards. Obviously, even though we are designing it for 10 years, full time, lifetime, it will not withstand. It will deteriorate at a faster rate. So damage is already being done at the birth itself, at the construction stage itself. So we are not rectifying that. That is where the quality assurance concept are coming. Quality assurance is we are trying to assure the quality of the finished product. That means that we are trying to start looking at how to create a quality product, starting from the planning stage, starting from the procurement stage, and then before construction, during the construction, and so on, such that we are to 100% guaranteeing the product created is fulfilling the quality test. This is what is the concept, the quality assurance. These concepts are also being introduced. Of course, as I said, that road safety and environment production is also being done. Then these are all some of the areas, the thrust areas, like critical appraisal of design and construction practices, review of existing geometric design standards. This is another area where we have compromised without any hesitation, right? Am I right? The reason is that there is a fundamental flaw in our policy itself, regulations itself. We said that there is no land acquisition in the Pmgsy scheme. So when there is no land acquisition, the initial phase 1, they are more emphasizing on voluntarily contributing the land, donating the land by the adjacent landowners. It happens spiritedly moment within 1 or 2 years, I think 3-4 years, 2003, 2004, maybe up to 2005, I could see that engineers are bringing the DPRs with a land donation certificates or the letters from the villages. Subsequently, I have not seen. Subsequently, after 2004 or 5, I have not seen a single owner coming forward and donating the land. So when the land is not available freely, so the engineers are forced to construct the road within the land available, compromising your geometrics. Sometimes the carriageway width or full formation width, sometimes the curves, the radius of curvature, because you are supposed to design for 50 kilometers per hour, it's supposed to be around 80 meters, am I right, radius of curvature, but they have been designed for 30 or 40 or 20 kilometers per hour speed. So compromising on the standards and leading to the poor quality of safety. That's what it is. Developing stabilization techniques for improving the performance of local materials. Local materials also can be stabilized in order to make them readily acceptable construction material. And then evaluating appropriate technologies for construction maintenance of low volume roads, encouraging the use of cold mix technologies. This is another technique adopted for the two purposes. One is remote areas, hot mix plants might not be available. And taking the material is also difficult. By the time you take the material to the site, the compaction temperature has been compromised. Because like optimum bitumen content, optimum moisture content, and the water cement ratio, your case of the bituminous mix, the temperature, compaction temperature, mixing temperature should be maintained properly. If not, then you will not get the required stability. So this is compromised in the remote areas where the mixing plant is not available, adjacent areas. So that is the reason why now we're talking about a cold mix technologies. The bitumen as well as aggregated at the room temperature or atmospheric temperature itself, they are mixing them and then preparing the road. Evaluating the suitable and economically performance-based pavement designs. This is also what I already mentioned. This I'll skip, okay, connectivity, some pricing, etc. Yeah, there was a subsequently another report, India Transport Report, Moving India 2012 to 2032, they cited, and also they also talked about the rural connectivity. They call it as a universal connectivity. A universal connectivity is all the villages with population 100 and above has to be connected by the all-weather road. So for that they have estimated some amount. It's so fine. They also identified the techniques, etc. Now let's try to look at the road length sanctioned in up to 2000 to 2022. You could say these are all some of the figures. This is the cumulative road length being constructed over the scheme across the country. And these are all the roads completed under the Pmgsy in 2011. And this picture indicates 2022. You could see that the darkness indicates the more road length. Now southern states somehow received the less funding. The reason is southern states from the beginning, they are the wealthy states, also having the good road connectivity. And especially in the case of the Andhra Pradesh, who made a fundamental mistake at the time of providing the unconnectivity and connectivity. We have shown that all the gravel roads are also as a connected roads. There's a fundamental mistake, maybe not mistake, a blunder we have made, because of which we lost a huge grant from the government, and which have already been considered as only for the upgradation subsequently in the subsequent schemes. But the northern states received a huge grant, UP, or Rajasthan, or Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, or Bihar, and so on. This is also the number of habitations being connected by the Pmgsy schemes. Again, more and more density is there in the northern states, northern belt. Southern states are lesser. Now, if you try to look at the Pmgsy at a glance, you could see that the roads sanctioned are about 8 lakh kilometers plus, and feasible habitations are sanctioned. Feasible habitations are about 1,73,000 habitations are being connected, and then the value of the projects are about 3,74,000 dollars, 3,75,000 crores. Roughly around 20 to 25,000 crores of fund is being allocated for the rural roads connectivity for the annum, right? The road completed are about 7,71,000 habitations are, this is connected are 1,71,000 habitations. Total expenditure is, as I said, this is the sanction, this is the expenditure. So you could see that more or less 94% target, here 99% target, 88% target has been fulfilled. So road length completed by sanctioned is the other figure. Pmgsy-1 almost 99%, Pmgsy-2 is almost 100%, and Pmgsy-3 about 73% is completed, and this left-wing extremist area about 77% of the sanctioned roads are being connected. So these are all some of the roads connected by in the different states, and also this is the cost per kilometer. You could see that the cost per kilometer is very less in case of Goa, but it is almost as long as 87 lakhs in case of the Ladakh. So the average cost per kilometer is not uniform across the states. It varies from one state to the other states. It all depends upon the type of the soil, terrain, and also the traffic conditions, weather conditions, and availability of the materials and so on. This is the actual expenditure per kilometer. You could see that the southern states is less than 40 lakhs per kilometer, most of this green area. This area where the cost is more than 50 lakhs per kilometer. Now the Pmgsy scheme has also done benefit to the technical advancement. Several documents, codes of practices have been developed over the years. You could see that the IRC books, Rural Roads Manual, prepared in 2002, Standard Data Book and Specification Book, 2004, Operation Manual, 2005, Design of Flexible and Rigid Payments for Low Volume Roads, Gravel Road Manual, Standards for Steel Bridges, Quality Assurance Handbooks. All these books are not available in 2001. Please note that. All these books are not available. Over the last 25 years, you have created wealth of information. Wealth of information will involve hundreds of scientists, engineers, and also feedback from the field engineers also has been taken. So many, almost all these books are available free of cost. Of course, you have to pay from the IRC, but I think whenever NIT Warangal has conducted the training programs, unofficially we have circulated them. We have given a pen drives, dumping all these code books. I don't know how many of them have opened the pen drives and used the material. That includes my friend Janka Ramesh also there. I think I have a liberty to ask him whether he has read them or not. He is smiling, so he has not opened the pen drive. Okay. So this online monitoring system is being done. This is also a wonderful creation so that everybody, citizen as well as the PAU can also access the information. The web-based monitoring, online monitoring system. So embedded decision support systems and also database in the citizens domain. Citizens also can look into that. So what is the impact of this Pmgsy scheme? That's what I said, that it's not, we have to look at, we should not look at the Pmgsy as only from the economic feasibility point of view. We have to look at the financial feasibility is not applicable on social impact also. That's what they have done it. A 5.5% increase in the employment in the connected villages, and 80% increase in the share of people with the primary employment outside the village. That means they might be going towards the nearest town or market area to get the employment. 30% decrease in the deliveries at the home, and 15% increase in the vaccination rates. These are all the great achievements. Definitely it's not a small achievement, and you cannot quantify them. You cannot look at them as only price value or the rupee values. So this is, as I said that, I think this is repeated. Yeah. Now let's try to look at what are the technologies which are being introduced. In the Pmgsy 2013, there are several technological initiatives and also policy changes, like a target of 15% of length of annual proposals by the state is proposed with the use of new technologies. New technologies. They are also given 10% for the mainstreaming existing technologies. What is meant by mainstreaming existing technologies? The technologies which are already developed in the laboratories, which are available for the implementation, where Indian Roads Congress codes of practices are available. So you can confidently utilize them. Even the failure, you will not be blamed. The reason is already codes of practice are there. So there is no question of failure. They have been tested, time tested in the laboratories on the field. Then another 5% is for the technology materials where the accreditation has been accorded by the IRC. That means IRC started testing the materials being introduced in India by different agencies. The agencies might be, technology might be developed indigenously, or sometimes they will try to borrow the technologies elsewhere. All this material is being tested by the IRC labs, like CSR labs or some IIT labs established in the IITs and NITs. And then if they are convinced that these materials are performing well in the laboratories, they have been permitted for the application in the field. That's what it is. So 10%, 5%, that's how they said. So like in the last 3 years, like 1922 up to that, you could see that huge length of roads are being constructed. Like you see that 8,000, 9,000, almost 11,000, 16,000 kilometers of roads are being constructed with the new technologies. Then there is a new technology vision 2022 guidelines. I think some of you, I think Naikar and some people have attended 2022. There was an international conference on the rural roads at New Delhi, and there we have launched the guidelines, new technology vision 2022. These things are also available free of cost. You can download. I don't know how many of you are accessing the Pmgsy website. Pmgsy website, they have dumped everything. See, some of the materials I am preparing is also borrowed, downloaded, and then copied from them. You will get plenty of ocean of information there. You can download all these materials. So they said that compulsory use of waste plastic in at least 70% of the length, and universal use of mechanized surface dressing in T1, T2, T5 category of roads. Like traffic-wise, you categorize based on the traffic industry, T1 to T9. So in T1 to T5, you can use the mechanized surface dressing, and T6 to T8 category of roads, we have used minimum 50% length shall be taken under the MSD. Okay? So, and also cold mix technology, they have given certain guidelines. There is no ambiguity. You can blindly follow that. Cold mix technology shall be used in minimum of 25% of the total eligible proposed length. It also says that at least 50% of the length of the proposal shall be constructed utilizing the new or green technologies or materials. Green technologies are nothing but which are environmental friendly, which will consume the energy as minimum as possible. They are all the green technologies. Each state shall promote at least 2 new innovations. I don't know what Andhra has proposed. Okay, what are the technologies proposed? Then 100% proposed length under cement concrete shall be constructed using the white topping or panel cement concrete or self-filled concrete. Only in exceptional cases, pavement quality concrete should be used. Where payment cost is high due to the factors such as non-availability of aggregates, etc., you have to use the FTR, full depth reclamation. I think there is a lecture tomorrow on the FTR by Professor Shankar. Then it also says that with respect to the base course, sub-base course, and then the subgrade, in areas more near the thermal power plants, fly ash should be used as a cement-treated base course. And in areas near the steel plant, we have used the slag shall be used in adequate quantity. Like Visakhapatnam steel plant is the one which is there available for us. You can use a lot, hundreds of tons of material is available. At least 10% of the proposed shall use duly processed construction and demolition waste. This is another menace we are feeling it, where small buildings are demolished and high-rise buildings are going on. So the construction and demolition waste, even the roads are also being digged, and then that material also you can use. That is also comes under the construction and demolition waste. Then the jute, geotextiles, fire is also should be local materials, and green technologies which should be used. I think one lecture is there exclusively on this. These are all the technologies being used in the Pmgsy roads. You could see that waste plastic is abundantly used. You could see that the kilometers completed, kilometers in progress. Then the strata of geocell, fire technologies, self-filled, marble slurry, soil stabilizers, nanotechnology, mechanical stabilization, CC block, terrazyme, and so on. These are all the technologies already used. The projects in progress, several states. Odisha is leading, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Assam. I am not saying Andhra Pradesh here. I think we have to use more and more new technologies in our state also. There is a lot of scope. Then the quality management in Pmgsy, I'll try to quickly run through. The quality assurance encompasses all the broad aspects of road development. As I said, that quality assurance is the one which is the buzzword now, not the quality control. So for that purpose, we should have a three-tier system, right? At the initial stages, is only looking at the quality control, then we have slowly moved towards the quality control to quality assurance. That is, comes under the concept of the total quality management, TQMs. So they have the good quality road construction. These are all some of the aspects. You have to look into that. Detailed project report, quality awareness and consciousness at all levels, good knowledge about the standard specifications. How many of you have seen the standard specification book? There are more specification books. Earlier, in initial stages, 2005 onwards, I used to emphasize and requested the chief engineers, etc., to procure these codes of practices and make available at each and every division and subdivision level. Okay? Because I don't want the engineers to spend their own money in procuring, because small 10-page to 15-page, 20-page document are also IRC used to price it at 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 200, or sometimes 400, 500 also. But now the scenario has been changed. All the codes of practice are available e-books. Whoever needs something, you please write to me. We'll be happy to share it. Already I have shared it to several people. It might be available. Ask your friend, etc. Okay? They might be available. So unless otherwise, you can also write to me. So use the graded aggregates, use of appropriate grade of bitumen, sincere efforts for testing the materials, etc. All these aspects has to be taken into consideration. As I said, that three-tier quality mechanism. Quality assurance handbooks are available. How many have seen them, quality assurance handbooks? Quality control registers, probably you might be aware, right? And laboratories to be established. This is the three-tier system. All of you might be familiar with this. First tier by the PIU, second tier by the state quality control or state quality monitors, and third tier by the NQMs. Is the time years that slowly has come down. Now slowly the quality control is increasing, and they are yielding the results. Now let's see guidelines. This is the period in which you are living now, 24 to 29. So all the Pmgsy guidelines are based on this. The population is based on the 2011 census. All-weather road connectivity to 25,000 rural habitations they have mentioned. 500 plus in plains, 250 plus in hilly states, 100 plus in the left-wing extremist areas. The government is keen to facilitate easier and faster movement from the educational, health and market centers. So Pmgsy 4, while connecting the habitation, the nearby government educational health institutions, markets and growth centers should be connected. That is the first priority. And they also emphasized on the uses of the e-mark, and focus rather than the revenue village, right? They also said that unconnected habitation is, they have taken 1.5 kilometers in case of the hilly areas, or plain areas 0.5 kilometers, and so on. So they also emphasize that all state and UTs with the legislature except northeastern states, now the central fund is reduced to 60% and 40% to the state government. So they also given a year-wise work plan up to 29. How much you are getting, sir? How much you got? 480 kilometers. 482 habitations. Okay. More of a technology driven. You have to use the Pmgsy portal, and also you have to use the Pmgsy Gram Sadak survey app. I remember that you have conducted a 2-day workshop at Vijayawada last year conducted. So the engineers were trained on these two. So population categorization also they are given. But అయిపోయింది. Okay.
ఆనరబుల్ వీసీ సార్, అందరినీ డిస్టర్బ్ చేసాము. సారు వివిఆర్ శాస్త్రి గారు మా Jntu కాకినాడ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది డిస్టింగ్విష్డ్ alumni. భారత్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ లిమిటెడ్ అని ఇండియాలో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది లార్జెస్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ ఇండస్ట్రీ, దానికి చైర్మన్ అండ్ మేనేజింగ్ డైరెక్టర్గా చేశారు. దాని యొక్క ఇంపార్టెంట్ బ్రాంచ్ కూడా ఇండస్ట్రీ మచిలీపట్నంలో వీరి మూలంగా తీసుకురావడం వచ్చింది. వీఆర్ ఆల్ అవర్ ప్రౌడ్ alumni అనమాట. జస్ట్ సార్ని హలో అంటానంటే వచ్చారు, బట్ మీరు వర్క్లో ఉన్నారు. థ్యాంక్స్.
So these are all the key features of the Pmgsy 4, like a durable assets. So we can expect a Pmgsy 4 plus while connecting application driven by government education. That's what I said. IT tools have to be used. Digital monitoring tools like a Gram Sadak survey app and Gati planning. Active participation of local and public, of course, is there from the Pmgsy 1 onwards. Prior consultation with the honorable members of parliament is also there from the beginning. So with the previous phases, the major difference is technological advances. The earlier compared to the Pmgsy 1, 2, 3, Pmgsy 4 is more technology driven. You need to use the GIS mapping, enhanced planning accuracy, like as I said, the Gram Sadak survey app and Gati planning tool, and real-time project monitoring for efficiency. All these things are being incorporated in the Pmgsy 4. An enhanced planning process, robust data analytics from informed decisions, streamline project phases, and increase engagement with the local population. Now they are trying to use I will skip this. This is where they are trying to use the technology. GIS-based district rural road plan, that is using the Gram Sadak survey app, and also Sadak, the Pmgsy national GIS platform, then Gati national master plan. All of them has to be used for your planning exercise, preparation of the DPRs, etc. This is what they have given the Sadak, where you could able to identify the road, the proposed road on the map itself by sitting at your office using your desktop system, and also identifying the local bodies, water bodies, etc., terrain we have to create, and then alignment has to finalize. And also there are several modules available in the Gati module. You can use all of them freely. I think they have been given a login, right? I asked them to give a logins to the STS also. They have not given so far. Right? It's only available with you. Then the eMark is the one, electronics maintenance rural road through the Pmgsy. This is also GIS-based one. They are given two apps, right? eMark inspection, eMark notification apps. This information is also available to all of you. This is how you can categorize in this one. So they also started paying the payments through the electronically, and the usage and popularity is increasing. Gradually, more and more payments are being made through the e-mark. These are the analytics of Pmgsy roads and the DLP maintenance, that is defect liability maintenance one. You could see that total payments disbursed are 3,933 crores across the states. So these are all some of the learning resources from which I have prepared the slides about the schemes, policies, and also guidelines of the Pmgsy 1, 2, 3, 4. So I thought to cover them, complete them. Already time is running out, so I quickly gone through it. So the question is, in summary, I feel that this is a wonderful scheme, evolving in the last 25 years, and technology is being adopted, new materials are being adopted. So now we can confidently say that the Indian roads are being built, designed and built and maintained by the appropriate technology, using the technology. No more is the initial 25 years back, we have the concept that rural road is not a civil engineering structure. Now it is a civil engineering structure which has been viewed with respect, with dignity, and we have designed them, now adopting. The one more good thing is we are evolving. Over the years, last 25 years, we have introduced many technologies. Used the many technologies in the road design or building or maintenance, and also the governance in which you are operating the scheme or the payment, also bringing the transparency and accountability to all the stakeholders, and also throwing this information to the public also. This is the beauty of this particular scheme. No other scheme. You check any other government scheme in the government which is transparent and accountable and made available to the public, not only to us, the public can also monitor that. So I think I take pride in being associated with the Pmgsy scheme. Similarly, all of you might be taking pride in being part of this Pmgsy scheme. You might be involved in the DPR preparation or construction or maintenance, or sometimes some of you might be involved in the quality control, etc., etc. Let us be proud. I hope in the years to come this Pmgsy scheme will go in a longer way, a much more stronger way, and benefiting the society at large. Thank you, one and all.
చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు సార్. ఒక్కసారి మన పాత సినిమా అంతా రివైండ్ చేస్తాం, అలా అనిపించింది సార్ మాకు. ఒక రోడ్ అంటే రోడ్ కాదు, ఒక సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్ట్రక్చర్గా మనం దాన్ని గుర్తించాలి. మనకు కూడా గుర్తింపు దాన్ని బట్టి వచ్చిందని అతి తక్కువ సమయంలో సుమారు 80 స్లైడ్స్ సారు కవర్ చేయడం జరిగింది సార్. మరి ప్రోగ్రామ్ 1 అవర్ లేట్ అవడం వల్ల లంచ్ 1 అవర్ వల్ల ½ an hour to 45 minutes పూర్తి చేసుకుని సేమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఒక 45 minutes ఓవర్లాప్ అవుద్ది. అందువల్ల అందరూ లంచ్ బ్రేక్ వెళ్ళి వెంటనే గ్యాదర్ అవుతారని తెలియజేయడం జరిగింది. అదేవిధంగా మన కాంటాక్ట్ సోదరులు ఒక 20% వచ్చారు. లెక్చర్స్ చెప్పే వాళ్ళు ఎవరు కూడా ఇంగ్లీష్ కమ్ తెలుగు రెండింటిలో కవర్ చేస్తే మాకు అర్థమవుతుందని కొంతమంది కాంటాక్ట్ సోదరులు తెలియజేశారు. అది మరి నెక్స్ట్ లెక్చర్స్ చెప్పే వాళ్ళు గుర్తుపెట్టుకుని అది ఫాలో అవుతారని తెలియజేస్తూ, సార్ నిజంగా వండర్ఫుల్ సార్. ఆ స్కీమ్ అంతా చూస్తుంటే మాకు ఎక్కడికో వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ ఈ రోగంలోకి వచ్చాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. లంచ్